Hey, I apologize in advance for the noise. My computer is crap, and if it doesn't have a fan on it, it overheats. So I apologize. There's a fan right here. Just ignore that. Anyway, I was talking to a friend, and we were discussing something. I don't even remember what we were discussing, but the topic of ranting came up. Particularly me ranting to no one, which I do that a lot. If you've seen any of my videos, you would know. Anyway, and I mentioned that I did like like a half an hour spiel about how the song Vincent, Starry Starry Night, reminds me of Loki. And she said she would like to see that. So here I am. Sarah, I'm filming this for you. Love you, darling. So, this, it's mostly, what reminds me of Loki about this song, I apologize. For those of you who don't know, this song is about Vincent van Gogh. I mean, the title, Starry Starry Night, that was one of his most famous paintings. And I've always had a soft spot for Vincent van Gogh ever since I was in high school. Anyway, so... but like I said, it's the chorus and the bridge of the song that remind me most of Loki. Let's see, the song starts out by saying, Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and daffodils. Catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Then we get to the chorus. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity. Suffered for your sanity. Thank you. Okay. Think, if you will, of everything that Loki has had to endure in his life. Beginning at childhood, okay? He has grown up literally in his brother's shadow. He was never up there standing with Thor. No, he was always behind Thor. Why? Because he was the second son. Not because of something he did, not because of something that was his fault, simply because he was not born first. He is always looked down upon. I mean, he even says in Thor, I never wanted the throne. All I ever wanted was to be your equal. And they are equals, okay? They are two sides of the same coin. Thor and Loki, they are equally matched, but with different skills. Thor he's the muscle, you know, he's the warrior, he's the brawn, whereas Loki is the brains, okay? He's the strategist. He's got the magic, and Thor has got the hammer, and they're equal. And that's what bothers me, because Loki, being the second son, never gets to prove that he is indeed equal to Thor, because no one gives him the chance. Which is why he does this whole scheme, is to show people, hey, I am not any less worthy than Thor. In fact, I may be more worthy, but I don't want the throne. I just want to show you that I am worthy of it. Okay, that's just his childhood. Then you come up to when they're in Jotunheim, and Loki, you know, he finds out, the frost giant. I apologize if I'm rambling. This is just sort of off the cuff. I didn't script any of this. The frost giant touches his arm, and his arm turns blue, and he goes home, and he's in the weapons vault, and he picks up the casket, and he turns blue, and it says, what am I? What am I? Imagine waking up one morning and discovering you're not even human. Okay, he wasn't human, but this is for comparison purposes. Something that you always thought would be true. Something that you always knew would be constant. your humanity, your identity. Imagine waking up and none of it was true. You are not human. You are not who you thought you were. Your family is not your real family. Not only that, imagine waking up and who you really are, who you were really born to, they're enemies. You have literally been taught to hate them your entire life, and you find out you're one of them? Can you imagine how devastated he must be? To find out his entire life has been nothing but a magnificent lie. And he's the god of lies. He is the trickster. Lies are his bread and butter, okay? Oh, sorry, I could really... Just look at his face during that scene. Just... My props to Tom Hiddleston. That was magnificently portrayed. Oh my gosh. So yeah, his entire life has been a lie. And the people he thought he loved, that he thought loved him, are the people that have been lying to him his entire life. His mother and his father. Particularly his father. Okay. And then, you know, he plans out this big, elaborate scheme just to have it fall down around him. And he tries so desperately to get it to work. He even tries to murder his own brother because he's so desperate for this to work. To show people that he's worthy. He stoops to such unimaginable lows just to prove himself. So yes, Loki has indeed suffered for his sanity. Because at the end of the movie, when he is dangling off the bridge, that entire, last 15 minutes of the movie, when Thor and Loki have been fighting in the Bifrost and saying things like, I never wanted the throne, and when they're out on the bridge and he's like, look at you, the mighty Thor, his voice was always this sort of deep, intimidating growl. But when he's out there dangling off the bridge, literally inches from death, being saved, being held onto by his father and his brother, listen to him. His voice becomes higher pitched. It becomes more childlike. He goes from being this almost power hungry being. He reverts back to a child and says, I could have done it. I could have done it, Father. For you. For all of us. And what does he say? What does Odin say? Not, yes, Loki, you could have, but that's not the way to go. Loki, you are equal to Thor in every way, but this isn't the way to prove it. What does he say? No, Loki. And in that moment, you literally see the will to live drain out of Loki's eyes. You see his hope, his sanity, every good thing he had left drain out of his eyes, and he is left empty. And he lets go. So yes, Loki suffered for his sanity. Oh my goodness, that almost took me 10 minutes. Wow, this is gonna be a series of several videos. Yes. I've got about 30 seconds left because this only takes 10 minutes at a time. So, that's part 1 of my Loki spiel. I will get part 2 recorded and get back to y'all, because I'm sure you're all dying to hear what I have to say. Okay, so, I will see you in the next video. And I've still got like 5 more seconds. 3, 5, 4, 3. Okay, bye-bye.